All right, guys, today I got access to FL Studio's new FL Studio Web. We're going to react in real time. So this is the email here that they sent me. It says, welcome to FL Studio Web Beta. So this is beta, and we're just going to open it up. I've never seen this before, so I have no idea what it looks like or how it works. They also have a Discord apparently, so we could join their Discord here. All right, their Discord currently has 56 people in here, so we'll join that Discord to see what it looks like. So it's just, they're just getting started, it looks like. So just verify, cool. Hold on. All right, so I guess this is just like a different version of their forum just for FL Studio Web. All right, so it's good they're catering to where people actually exist, which is Discord. All right, so here's FL Studio Web. Okay, so they have the Discord up top. It says beta, and let's see here. Okay, let's create. They even have the sound effect in here. Help us customize your experience. Okay, I've used FL before. It says, how much have you used FL Studio? It's my main DAW. Select the roles that describe you: producer, beat maker, keyboardist, not really keyboardist, singer, yeah, songwriter. Boom. And then it says, help us customize your experience. What styles of music do you make? Drill, hip hop. Oh wait, you can only pick one. Okay, so we'll just put trap. Actually, hip hop. All right, so I will say so they give you like a tutorial on the screen, which is pretty dope. So even though I said I've used this for years, it still is giving me a tutorial. So it says, click some drum steps to create or delete. All right, that's pretty dope. I kind of want to skip the tutorial because I want to just see how it naturally feels. Okay, so you can X out of that. All right, so here is, now this looks a lot like Logic in terms of this little drop down area, but it looks very clean. So my first reaction, it looks very clean, very modern. I'm trying to figure out how do we swap out the drums though? Where's the browser? It's like I see what I'm doing here, but I don't see where. All right, let's just figure out the basic stuff. So right click is get rid of notes. Left click is to add a note. Let's switch the BPM to like 91 BPM. Let's put this on loop mode. Also, if you guys look to the right side, they have this like tutorial journey, which is like a drip feed for tutorials. That's pretty clever for getting people who are beginners to understand how to use this. The only thing I can't comprehend is how to swap out the drum sound. Like, how do I swap it out? I guess when you switch genres, like how do we swap the drums? I just don't want these drums. I guess we can't choose the drums because it's on the web, duh. All right, so that's a little confusing how to choose drums. All right, not that big of a deal though. Let's add the snares in. And in FL Studio, we could just right click, fill each two steps. I don't know the shortcut for this. So we're gonna have to left click these notes in manually. Let's see if they have swing. All right, let's see here. All right, it's kind of weird because I'm like trying to mentally think where stuff would be in FL Studio. And I don't see where that would be in here. So I don't think they have a visual swing, at least. I don't know where it would be. Let's see what this percussion sound is. Okay, it's like a cowbell. Now we got like a West Coast vibe. All right, let's see if we can add instruments in here. I'm not sure if MIDI connects to the web or how that works. All right, so when I went into the settings, this pop-up popped up that says allow MIDI devices. So let's turn that on. And then here we can select the MIDI input, which is my Korg Kronos. So you can actually trigger the drums with your MIDI controller. That's very convenient. All right, so that makes it a little bit easier. Let's see how we can add a track in here. What is this? Okay, that's the project. I wouldn't say this is the most intuitive. Like as a beat maker, it's just not super intuitive, like what the next move is. Like for example, I want to add another sound here. I guess we click this plus button. But yeah, I guess that's what we do. No, okay, that's not what we do. It's just confusing, like where do I add another instrument? All right, so again, I think workflow could definitely be simplified, but basically if you click this little thing over here, it shows you stuff you could use. So let's pull over the guitar Now, I've never would have guessed that if I didn't just happen to click this little thing. That's not very intuitive, in my opinion. Most DAWs have like a plus button, and you click plus, and it asks you what you want to add. There's no like visual way to know that you want to add anything, so you're going to be guessing for a while. All right, so here we have a guitar, which sounds pretty decent. Now let's grab this pattern and let's drag it into the, how do we drag this? Okay. So my intuition says I want to drag a pattern like in FL Studio to the playlist, but that's not working. So how do we get our drums in the actual playlist? Okay, so you have to grab this and not the actual pattern. That's super weird too. Again, I think little things like this, they'll fix over time, but like my natural inclination was to click this clip and drag it. Now that works for some reason. Okay, so apparently if you click down here at the bottom, it doesn't work, but if you click at the top, it works. Okay, kind of weird because it has the grabby hand, so you just assume it's gonna work. Yeah, I think that needs to be addressed because that's kind of confusing. Okay, so now we have this guitar sound. I'm trying to figure out how do we actually record it. So this little red icon represents something that's ready to be recorded. It's not giving me like, you know how in FL, it shows you the tracks like per track. Here, it doesn't tell us that we're on a new track. It's just kind of like, I don't know. It's just kind of there. It doesn't like signal to me that we're on a separate thing. So let's hit record and let's, record some chords. Now, the one thing about these sounds here, at least from what I see, is the guitar does not allow you to do pitch bends with my pitch wheel. So I'm using my pitch wheel, nothing's happening. So there are limitations for this. So again, who would I think this is for? Somebody I think this is for a brand new user. So this isn't like, learn FL Studio faster or learn it better. This is for people who literally are starting from scratch and are trying to find a new DAW. I think this is almost like FL Studio version 1, but for people who want to be on the web. It's its own thing. And I think, it's really catered to learning the workflow in this specific DAW. It doesn't translate to FL, in my opinion. A lot of the workflows are it's not super off, but it's just not the same. Let's hit record. I don't know where this guitar will pop up. All right, so I would like a count in. So let's see if we can figure out a count in. I don't think there is a count in function. I mean, at least from what I could see. So it is kind of weird. They still have pattern mode and song mode still as a thing here. I didn't realize that until just now. So I'm trying to figure out where is the count in. I don't see one. So we're just gonna hit record and hit play. I'm not even sure my sustain pedal's working. So I don't know how to record on this. So let's create another clip, maybe because I didn't add a clip. Now let's record to this. And let's make this longer. So again, this is not like a very similar workflow at all. This is very, very, very different. Okay. So it doesn't allow us to set the length of the clip very easily. Usually in FL, you could just drag it, but here, I don't know. It's just, let's just go back. So I've noticed too, there's a generate button here. So I'm sure they're building this for more so to handle AI stuff. So I could see this as if this were a shell for AI generations, this would be, state of the art for AI generations, because Suno Studio isn't even this, articulate in terms of the interface. So if that's their goal, that makes sense for this workflow. Again, is this an alternative for people who already have FL Studio? I wouldn't say so. I think this is a completely different thing for a completely different audience. Let's go back and record the guitar this time. See how I want to record more, but it's like I don't know how to actually do that without it repeating. So again, little things. I'm not trying to nitpick. I'm just trying to show you guys the reality of it so you're not getting overhyped by it. Now I saw somewhere where we can add effects. So here, if you click on the instrument, you can drop effects, but it doesn't show me where the effects are. So you have to open up this browser thing, I guess, and figure out where the effects are. That is a little weird to have everything in this like effects area, because the browser is just a weird place to look for effects, personally speaking. It should be a pop-up that says click here and select the drop down. I really don't see the point of going back to the browser to look for an effect. I'm just saying what I feel. Let's go to effects. Let's add a compressor to the guitar. let's turn the ratio up. Oh, the drums got randomly louder. Okay, so because I extended the clip. So see how like weird stuff like that? It's considering this whole thing the same thing. I don't know. They need to work on this a little bit more. The pattern selector clip mode, that's super awkward. And this little playhead, I'm hitting stop and it's not going back. Okay, there we go. Never mind. I stand corrected. Is that a little chorus to this guitar? Now, I will say I do like these interfaces for their plugins. I wish they would, add this to FL Studio, just how simple the plugins look and how comprehensive they are. This is what their effects plugin should definitely look like. I think these look really perfect for even FL Studio. So far, you have the basic effects. Let's add some delay. Now, even their delay looks fire. This looks very reminiscent to Current, for those who have used Current. I wonder if they got the code from them. Or somebody in the like, because this looks very similar. Shout out to Minimal Audio. Let's add a little drive. Pretty cool sound. I mean, the drums, I wish we could swap out the drums. Oh wait, maybe we can. Okay, so somehow I just clicked around. So if we clicked on the clip mode, it gives you the sequencer, but if you click on the actual drum track, it gives you the drum pad, and it looks like we can load up samples here. Let me see if I could drag and drop a sample. On the left side, if you open up this browser thing here and click on where it says sounds here, we can load up a one shot. I had to click on where it says one shot, and then we can go through one shot. So I don't know what I'm looking at, if it's a pack or what. Let's just see if we could just swap this kick. So we can swap. All right, now let's swap the snare. Now I guess we could just search snare. All right, let's swap that out. Let's fade this snare. Now on the snare, I want a time delay. So I don't know if, basically I'll just use a delay. We're going to put this at 100% mix level. Is there a mix level on here? What is this? I guess this is the mix knob. It doesn't really say what this is. I assume that's the mix knob. All right, we're going to turn this off. And basically we're just going to I said feedback all the way down, so I don't know why we're hearing double. We shouldn't theoretically be hearing double. Theoretically, if I don't know where the mix level is, but this, I guess, is not the mix level. If the mix level of the delay is all the way up, we should hear just a delayed signal. So I don't know why this, what is this? It doesn't tell you what it is. Adjust the change in the mix level, but it's not doing it right. It's a little annoying. So that's not working as intended. I guess my question is, how do we nudge notes around? So that's what I'm trying to figure out now, is how do we move this in like a piano roll or something? Again, I got to be honest, this is not the most intuitive interface at all. I'm not criticizing the company, the developers. I think they've done a lot of good here. Like the interface, for example, looks really clean. I think they're going to attract a lot of new users. For people who are existing FL users, it's going to frustrate you a little bit because you got to like look everywhere, and then I don't know. It's just not obvious. Like I wish companies would just make stuff super obvious, like mixer, record, sounds, you know, just make it very apparent. We shouldn't have to be digging in menus to find stuff. I do like their Ableton-esque sampler. This looks very Ableton-y, so that looks fire. Yeah, I like what they're doing visually. There's a couple, again, you guys have seen kind of the drawbacks I've shown. This is the beta, so I'm not expecting super craziness. Let's distort the snare a little bit with the boost. I was trying to delay the snare just by a little bit. So let's see if we can drag in our own sounds. I'm not sure if that's a thing. So I'm going to open up my browser. All right, so here's my go-to drum kit. I just want to see if we can, here's the hi-hat. I want to see if we could drag this in. I don't think that's a thing. So I don't think we can drag it in. I don't even know what I just did. Okay, so somehow the snare is not playing now. What just happened? What in the heck just happened? I hit the back arrow, but it's not. There we go. So, I mean, are you going to be creating the next Metro Boomin beat on this? Probably not. So let's just add the bass. Let's go to instruments. Let's go to bass. And let's just see what this is about. So, funny enough, they start with the 808. Funny. Let's do a real bass. I don't think 808 works for this beat, though. So I do like the sounds. These are good. Let's record this in. So again, I wish there was a countdown because we would have to leave a whole bar just to record something in here. So it's like impossible to start right on the downbeat. And again, I keep forgetting to add a clip here. Let's do this again. See how it only records up to 4 bars? I don't know how to make that longer, so. Oh, here it is. Okay, so if you switch this to 6 bars, 18 bars, but then we have to, let me see something here, y'all. I don't know, let's just loop it. Let's see if we can add another sound in here. Let's do like some kind of synthesizer. So they have really good sounds in here, at least from what I'm hearing so far. Let's see with electric keys. So what's weird though is that my sustain pedal is not working with this DAW, so that kind of kills a lot of instruments. So yeah, I do like the sound again, but what kills the vibe though is not having that count in. Like, how are we supposed to record MIDI without a count in? So again, I'm pulling out little details just so, you know, the workflow can improve. So I think I found the piano roll. I think that's where it is. Okay, so this little button in the bottom left, it looks like the piano roll, which looks very similar to FL. So let's see if we can quantize. Let's hit Control A. So again, by default, it just adds notes when I want to just scroll around. All right, so how do we select notes without doing anything? Let's hit Control A. I don't see any quantize function, but let's right click and, all right, I don't think there's a quantize. Yeah, I don't see quantize here. So it's giving FL Studio mobile vibes just for the web. Again, I think this is going to be a very different audience. I don't think this is for FL guys. I think this is for like a very, very specific new audience. Again, when they incorporate AI, if that's their goal, I can see that making sense. Let's record in some more keys. Keep forgetting to add the clip. Okay. So again, it's a little weird not having a sustain pedal work. It could be just the fact that my thing wasn't, it says MIDI device control, so I don't know if that's a thing on the web. All right, let's go through the different sounds here. I'm trying to figure out how to select just clip 4, but I can't select clip 4 without selecting the rest. So again, it's still in beta. I think this is a good starting product. I just wish they would have did the most basic stuff first. That's my frustration with all software companies, is like, please simplify your stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just a lot of common sense stuff that got overlooked in my opinion. Let's add some effects in here. I do like the effects though. Whoever hooked these effects up really was on their grind. It looks clean. Reminds me of how BandLab loads up in Ableton. I mean, a pretty decent beat. I don't know how to mix the entire track. Okay, so we have the main track. Let's try to master this a little bit, mix it. Let's add a compressor here. What would also help is if we could type in values for these plugins here. Let's add a little EQ. So again, I think the mixing plugins were well thought out. Really all we can really add. Compressor EQ. What else is there to add? Let's try distortion. And we can blend it in with the mix level here. I guess the next question is, can we record vocals in here? I'm not sure. So if you go to instrument, it says audio track. Now, because I'm recording on my video, I can't record into here, but it definitely says audio track. Now the question is, how do we select the inputs for the audio track? That's not very clear. I guess this is when you drag and drop audio. I don't know if we can record in here or not, but you know, that's the final frontier, is can we record in here? Vocals, I mean. I mean, the beat's pretty good for what we did. Let's just let this rock for a couple bars. All right, so let me know what you guys feel about it. I think it has a lot of potential, that's for sure. Let me know what you guys think below in the comments, and let me know if you have access to it. It's fl.studio. That's the link for it. Subscribe if you're new. Peace, guys.